yesterday's only, because most of the students have failed to join yesterday's class. And if yesterday's topics get covered up sooner than usual, we will also discuss some other topics today. Wait, let me confirm now. Okay, recording is there. And then can you see my screen, everybody? Is it okay? People like John, dedicated Christian youth, and Wangsa, I believe. Some of you are joining again today also, even though it is repetition. Thank you all for joining in. That shows the dedication that you guys have. I'm really glad. So it will be everything almost the same only, but it will also be like highlights for you, or you can even ask questions if you want to, if you have any confusion, okay? All right. Okay. 1 second. Cybersecurity challenges. I think the first topic of discussion of yesterday's class was, where is it? Where are the slides? Okay, this is the magazine. All right, is my screen clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Guys? All right, it's not blur, right? Even voice is okay? Today I'm just taking from home, I believe. I hope and pray that the internet will be fine, and also the current one go. Now, okay, just repeating the same quote as well, which we shared yesterday. The goal is simple, better than yesterday. So whatever we do, the studies, also everything we are doing today should be better than yesterday. Even in this competitive exam journey, remember that you are in a competition, not with someone, but with yourself only. If you're appearing in PSC for the second time, you should always try to do better than the last time. If you were able to wake up today, even though you wanted to wake up at 5:30, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow, it should be better, right? Just better than today, better than yesterday. That should be the main simple goal that we have in mind. All right, now we just want to discuss the articles one by one even today. I believe today is Saturday. On Thursday's class, we completed TL article number 36. Okay, so we will be starting today from article number 37. Okay, and so just without further ado, starting off, article number 37. This article basically talks about India's performance from April to December 2024. Okay, in the field of export and import. Okay, so and in this data, this is based on a data which has been released by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this ministry is responsible for looking at the facts and figures, or looking at the matrices data relating to export and import, basically. So they have released this data from April to December, and based on this, we will take out some inference. So this one, I have just simplified this data, and as here, let me share it with you. Okay. Yes. So from the data that has been published by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, total exports from April to December 2024 has been $602 billion, which has we have witnessed a growth of 6.03% over the course of this year. This new financial year, previous financial year, that is from April to December. Okay, so in 2023, the growth has been lesser, and there has been growth in exports, and also there have been also growth in total imports by 6%, and total imports have been 682.15 million. We see that the trade deficit out here, trade deficit meaning trade deficit meaning total imports minus total exports, right? Which is equal to 80 billion. So we are seeing a trade deficit. This signifies an imbalance in the balance of trade only. Balance of trade is that metric, or is that statement which gives us the the country's total exports and imports, right? So balance of trade, trade in goods and services, and also trade in any other merchandise goods or so, right? So this is the balance of trade, which is part of the balance of payment only, which you study in economics only, right? So in December, particularly in the month of December last year, the exports have been 70 billion. We see that there has been an increase of only less than 1%, right? So this low yes, less than 1% only in terms of exports. We were witnessing that Indian products or goods are not like growing as in the field of exports. The other countries are not demanding much of our products and commodities. And so this is a question or an inference that we can take from here as well. And when we look at the imports has seen a growth of 6.40%. We have been consistent in what we have been importing only, right, from other countries. And so there is also this trade deficit of 7 billion out here, just solely in the month of December. See, the trade deficit persists as imports exceeds exports because import is greater than exports, right? Now, this data basically from April to December shows both exports and imports growing. We are seeing that both the exports and imports are growing, right? But imports are outpacing exports. Imports are always greater than exports when we are talking about this. And this is also another reason why we are seeking for Atmanirbhar Bharat, because we want to be self-reliant as a country and we want to be an exporting country in terms of services as well as goods, right? And agriculture commodities or whatever manufacturing commodities it might be. And see, we are seeing because the import is more than the exports, we are seeing that there is trade deficit. And when we're looking at the December figure, it highlights a slowdown in export, a growth of only 0.92%, which is lesser than even 1%. But in imports, we're seeing that there has been a growth of 6%. So this is the simple data that has been published by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which you can use while talking about anything related to export and import or manufacturing or demand of economy, any economic questions or so, you can supplement with this data only. All right. So that is all that this article talks about. Now, moving to the next article, this is also a very simple article only. So here, this article, basically, it talks about the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Okay, when we're relating to the Ministry of Labor and Employment, they will obviously talk about data relating to workforce. And this data is also important because India as a country deals with unemployment, and employability is a question which is of heavy contention in the country. In every aspect, thing is talked about. So this is also an important article in that aspect. Okay, so this Ministry of Labor and Employment has hosted the conference on future of jobs. Conference on Future of Jobs in New Delhi. And the theme of this conference is Shaping Tomorrow's Workforce, Driving Growth in a Dynamic World. Why are we saying that it is a dynamic world? Because the nature of jobs is changing. Manual jobs are being automated these days, and things that were done manually are being automated. We are not requiring the labor force as well for doing mundane activities like any other. Many things are replaced by robots or automation like AI, and all can do so many things. For example, when for a book publisher, he needs proofreaders, right? There will be 3 or 4 people who will read his copy first. Manuscript will be read multiple times before it is actually printed and sold to the public. But once you are writing an article, you just submit it to AI, for example, ChatGPT or Gemini or anything, or Claude, and they will proofread it and they will identify all the mistakes or so, and they will give it to you. In this regards, like there are many services in this world today which are being, which will get outdated in the near future. So this is an important point of contention as well. So this the theme is this only, you can recall it. And then some of the data that they have also published as a result of this conference are India's employment growth. Okay, we have seen an employment growth of 642 million in 2023 to 24. In 2014 to 15, like a decade ago, 10 years ago, it was 471 billion. We are seeing that there is increase in job opportunities only. And these are according to the provisional estimates from the RBI's database only. Okay. Now, and also this reason why has this growth, why has the jobs or the employment increase in this last decade? And the key growth drivers according to this database, RBI database, is that PLI schemes. Because of one reason is because of PLI schemes, public linked incentives schemes, right? So PLI schemes are those schemes where the government provides financial assistance, or they will provide financial assistance, or they cannot charge taxes from a company if they are producing sustainable or clean goods. Okay, sustainable or clean goods. Okay, for example, production of LED bulbs, right? And also we had talked about the solar PV cells and everything, right? For companies which are producing electric vehicles also, and battery cells for electric vehicles and other related things which are related to clean energy, right? Which are related to reducing the dependence on fossil fuel or anything like that. These companies basically or mostly get public linked incentive schemes, or they get benefits from the government. And because of this also, there has been increase in employment. That's what the report says. And there has been advancements in technology, and MSMEs and startups have played pivotal roles in shaping the workforce landscapes. MSMEs, the role of MSMEs in startups. We are always talking about the startup ecosystem in the country. Earlier in the country, before 1991, or even before the new millennial, before 2000 or 2010, where new economic policies have been brought about, earlier the startup ecosystem was very bad in the country because there was very much stringent economic policies, which did not allow entrepreneurs to come up with new ideas in the market. And it was very difficult to obtain trademarks and copyrights also. So startup ecosystem was very bad. And the ease of doing business, we also discussed all these things, right? Ease of doing business and all these things, matrices in the country was very poor. But because of all these laws, stringent, archaic laws that are being relaxed now today by the government, startup ecosystem has also become better. And micro, small, and medium industries are also cropping up. And because of this, employment is generated. So this is the thing that is related to, these are the factors that has contributed to the growth of employment in the last decade, as according to the RBI estimates. Okay. And the Ministry of Labor, this conference of future of jobs has been hosted by the Ministry of Labor and Employment, and the theme is shaping tomorrow's workforce, driving growth in a dynamic world. Okay. Now, moving on to the next article. This is also a very important article. Every class you might hear me say at least 10 or 20 times about Atma Nirbhar. And just see, there will be questions relating to this directly or indirectly in your mains questions, especially, or interview or not. We're not just preparing you for prelims exam. If so many people will tell you, one-liners current affairs are more important, just read that, and you will want to go for Arihant publication or anything, and you will try to read that. But reading one-liner current affairs will actually not develop an opinion in your mind, right? And you will not be made to think when you're reading one-liner current affairs. It's just like mucking up. But the changing pattern of the exam requires you to have your opinion, and requires you to have questions like why, how, where, and when. Only then you will also be able to attempt most of the questions in the prelims as well, because there will be statement past questions like how many of the statements are correct, and you will be made to answer only one, only two, only three, all of these things, right? So because of that, the importance of understanding each article in detail comes about. And also relating to Atma Nirbhar, I was reminding you, because in your essays there will be questions where you have to use these examples. Okay, so this is about an indigenously developed micro missile system called the Bhargavastra. Okay, Bhargavastra is the indigenously developed micro missile system designed to counter swarm drone threats. Swarm drones meaning that you just relating to the words a swarm of bees. Like there will be a lot of bees. This is a group or a multiple number of bees are called a swarm, right? So swarm of drones is simply that only. So if you see this, this is the swarm of drones. This is the swarm of drones. Okay. And in order to counter these, you have this missile system that has been developed indigenously, meaning Indians, we have ourselves developed this micro missile system. Okay. And it is called Bhargavastra. So let us discuss this in simple words, this micro missile system, removing these only. Okay. So Bhargavastra is India's first micro-missile based system designed to counter swarm drones. Okay. Who developed it? It is developed by Economic Explosives Limited. Remember this, you can memorize this. It can detect and neutralize small drones at over 6 kilometers. So the range of this micro missile that you see here is 6 kilometers. Okay. Primarily designed for the Indian Army. Okay, this is primarily designed for the Indian Army, although the Indian Air Force has shown interest in it. So just remember, it is primarily designed for the Indian Army. It is developed by Economic Explosive Limited, and this is a subsidiary of a Nagpur-based solar group. Okay, just remember that. Nagpur-based solar group. Okay, that is it. And see, what are the key features of this missile? The key features are detection range. Can spot drones beyond 6 kilometers. So it has got inbuilt mechanism that makes it spot drones from beyond 6 kilometers. Okay. Neutralization uses guided micro missiles to destroy drones. Guided micro missiles meaning that it is human intervention is required here. Okay. And then simultaneous launches. It launches up to 64 micro missiles at once. So we see that it can launch 64 micro missiles at once. Okay. And mobile platform, it can be deployed quickly across various terrains, meaning in hilly regions also, it can be used in high altitude areas like the mountains also, anywhere it can be used, and it is versatile, effective in different environments for military use. It can be also used in naval warfare as well, even in the high seas, even in the oceans, or it can be used in different terrains, in the plains and in the high altitude regions, right? So please remember here, so 6 kilometer range, okay, 6 kilometer range, and 64 missiles can be fired through this. And then what are the things? It is developed by Economic Explosives Limited. And this is the first micro missile based system indigenously developed, right? A system in the country only. Because drone attacks and all have been very common recently, and there has been spotting of drones and all, even in the line of actual control areas, in the army camps and all, there has been sightings of drones and all. And we have been talking about how we can defend ourselves from drone attacks. So this is a novel, which means novel, novel, which means new, development by the country only, by the military only, right? About swarm drones, if you look at the article also, it talks a little bit about swarm drones out here. All right, so these are the swarm drones, as you can see in the picture. Swarm, it basically stands for Smart Warfighting Array of Reconfigured Modules. Okay, a swarm drone typically consists of multiple drones, as you can see in the picture, working in coordination, communicating with one another, and sharing information to achieve a common objective. The common objective is for surveillance, but mostly for destroy, but mostly to destroy only, right? These drones can be of the same or different types, ranging from small quadcopters to large fixed wing drones, okay? The swarm's strength lies in its ability to function as a collective unit. It has got inbuilt algorithms in it, which makes it function as a collective unit. There is a single chain or line of command, and after a command has been given to them, they will function collectively in order to achieve a certain objective, okay? Leveraging swarm intelligence algorithms. See, this is the swarm intelligence algorithms, meaning what does it mean? It means how different commodities or entities, right, can work together to achieve a certain common goal, right? And advanced software to operate seamlessly and efficiently. These drones are equipped with artificial intelligence and can communicate with each other as well as with a control station. So communication and coordination is the basic feature of this swarm drones. And in order to counter these kind of attacks, we have built the micro missile system, all right? Counter drone micro missile system also, okay, which can fire 64 missiles at one go. Okay, so that is it. Now, moving on to the next article. This article is about Gangasagar Mela. We have discussed in previous classes, and we have also read in the news about the Mahakumbh, right? So Mahakumbh is the largest religious gathering or the pilgrimage in the world, okay? And Gangasagar Mela is the second largest pilgrimage or the religious gathering only after Mahakumbh, okay? Kumbh Mela. And okay, when you're talking about the hmm, so the Gangasagar Mela is India's second largest pilgrimage gathering after the Mahakumbh. It is held annually where it is held in Sagar Island in West Bengal, where the Ganga meets the Bay of Bengal. This is just Sagar Island in West Bengal only, all right? So, and then there is this, it's just adjacent to the Hooghly River, which is an extension of the Ganga River only, okay? So, and devotees take a sacred dip here. Just like in the Mahakumbh also, you will see devotees dipping themselves in the water as a sign of Sangam, or it's a religious spiritual practice for them of purification only. Just like Christians would baptize and stuff like that, it purifies their soul only in the river, in the holy river. And this is done during mid-January only because the festival, the Gangasagar Mela, is held from 10th to 18th January, okay? And Sagar Island in the Ganges Delta, about 100 kilometers south of Kolkata, okay? So that is what you can remember and you should remember about the Gangasagar Mela, okay? Okay, now moving on to the next topic. This is also a very important topic. This article is very small, but we have a lot of discussion here. I'll just simply discuss it. Okay. Now, the Prime Minister of our country, Sri Narendra Modi, has unveiled Mission Mausam. Mausam means what? Mausam in Sanskrit, Hindi, it means weather. Okay. Okay. It means weather. The mission weather, right? What was the objective? To boost India's weather forecasting abilities. India's weather forecasting abilities using advanced tools like AI. This can be used as an example of AI in weather forecasting. We have talked a lot of examples about AI in defense. We have talked about AI in governance. We have talked about AI in all other aspects of our daily life, mostly AI in medicines, AI in all of these things. And now also in weather forecasting, we are talking about AI in weather forecasting. And when you're talking about weather forecasting, especially for India, a country like India, which has heavy or high dependence, like agriculture is the backbone of our country, right? And agriculture is dependent on the weather conditions. Our agriculture is still dependent on the monsoon, right? See, if the monsoon is good, seasonal weather change, right? If the monsoon is good, the production of agriculture commodities will be good. And if the monsoon is bad, everything goes to waste only and agriculture fails in the country. There will be high inflation in the country. Prices of commodities, for agricultural commodities will be so high. And we will go into like a depression in the economy only, right? Very high inflationary tendencies or situations. So weather forecasting is a field which is very important and it will also warn us during earthquakes and tsunamis and everything else. So this is the importance of it. And in it has this mission Mosam was launched to mark the 150th foundation of the Indian Meteorological Department. In our previous class, we talked about this 150th anniversary of the IMD. The IMD, as we all know, was set up in the year 1875, right? 1875. And we know that it is the National Meteorological Service of the country, right? Of the country, of our India only, of our India. And we know that the headquarters is in New Delhi only. And this Indian Meteorological Department is under which ministry? It is under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Please remember that. See, just repeating again, because this is an important statement, accurate weather forecasting, right? Accurate weather forecasting is very much important, very vital for agriculture and livelihood in the country, right? Because it will help in crop planning. Crop planning, what are the crops that should be planted by the farmers in the country so as to, you know, adjust with the changing weather patterns every year, right? Different weather patterns are every year relating to the La Nina or El Nino effect, all of these things, right? So based on all of these factors and the monsoon and so many other heat waves and all of these things, the shift of the uh, there are many things which we'll be talking in your geography classes as well. So crop planning is very important when it comes to weather forecasting, and we have the disaster prevention as well, right? Or mitigation, prevention, right? And pest control relating to the changing weather patterns, all of these things, resource management and everything will be there. And weather forecasting will help in all of these things. I'm just going in detail so that you will have material or you will have like value addition in your answer writing. Practice answer writing from now on, right? Answer writing is a very important technique, or it will only decide. Answer writing will decide whether you clear this exam or not, or and also not just that, even if you clear, it will decide which rank you get. The one with a better answer, even if you do not practice answer writing, even if you have much knowledge in you, this is an art, okay? And if you have much knowledge in you, you will not be able to, score well if you are not well equipped with this art, okay? So practice answer writing from now. Okay, so let's talk about this mission Mausam. I believe we have created the context of why we have launched this, why the Prime Minister have launched this. Okay, we will go this also in a little bit in detail. Okay. See, Mission Mausam was launched on September 11, 2024. And the mission aims to make India weather ready. Weather ready. This is a very important, you can memorize this word, weather ready. And climate smart. I really like these words. You can use in your answers as well. Climate smart, right? We're talking about smart cities, smart, smart everything, right? Smart TV, smart everything. So smart, climate smart can also be something which will be, enabled through the use of AI in weather forecasting as well. It seeks to position India as a global leader in weather and climate sciences, focusing on accurate weather forecasting, essential for agriculture and livelihood. As I mentioned to you, livelihoods meaning important source of income for the farmers or for the people, for the employed, for anybody, right? So weather forecasting is very important. Objectives of Mission Mausam: improve weather forecasting across various scales, like as we have discussed. We have the short term, we have the short term, yeah, we have the short term, we have the medium term, various scales, right? And we have the long term. When we're talking about the short term, um, this weather forecast will be like for a few hours, right? For a few hours. And this is very much important when you are, when the country or that place is dealing with storms, right? Storms or like different abnormal weather conditions. This scale is used. The short-term value is important. And when we're talking about the medium term, the predictions usually range from a few days to weeks, okay? Days to weeks. So these are important. This even in the Nagaland Post or any newspaper, you will see that you have the weekly weather forecast. Like this day it will be sunny, the next day it will be raining and stuff like that. So it is important for us for that, and for long term, like it will be for forecast will be for months or years, right? And this will help. This is useful for policy making, especially, right? Policy making and water management and climate adaptation strategies. Based on this, different excuse me, different policies will be made, right? Okay, improve weather forecasting. All of these scales. See, we're not trying to improve in one aspect only, but we are trying to improve in all of the various scales from short to medium to long term. Develop high resolution models for better monsoon predictions. See, Indian agriculture, the sad reality is Indian agriculture is dependent on the monsoon, on monsoon, right? So if the weather forecasting regarding monsoon is wrong or is not accurate, entire agriculture would fail in the country. So the sad reality is that even in this 21st century, we have to be dependent on monsoon. But when but just by improving this or by improving the weather forecasting, we can achieve. Hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible? Oh, can you see my
No,
screen?
No, we cannot.
Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. This internet and current here in Kohima is very interesting. Hello, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Even voice is clear, right? It's not lagging somehow.
Yeah, it's clear.
very clear.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. And screen is visible? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe it went off. Okay, you have heard about the Indian agriculture is dependent on monsoon and that explanation, right? Okay, just okay, wait, let me just mute you all and you can unmute yourself, okay? Yes. Okay. Yes, strengthen observational networks with advanced technology. How we are observing this weather conditions and everything. Okay, deliver actionable advisories for key sectors like agriculture and disaster management. Improvement in weather forecasting will improve all of these things, right? The Department of Weather Forecasting is very much necessary in giving giving advices to the agricultural ministry or the disaster management like the NDMA National Disaster Management Authority. They will depend a lot on the advices given by the weather forecasters, right, by the Indian Meteorological Department, and foster research collaborations with national and international institutions. We talked about the regional meteorological centers and everything, right? So all of these are important in this regard. Okay, now Mission Mausam. Okay, 1 second. Where is that part one? Hmm. Install the Adler weather radar. Automatic weather stations and range weather radars on the Doppler technology. Simply understand. This Doppler weather radar, it detects the wind patterns, cyclones basically. So all of these things are mostly used in cases of disaster management. Okay. Automatic weather station.
Sir, your voice is cracking.
Hello, hello.
No, sir.
Hello.
How is it? How is it now?
Good, now it's good. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
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 Yes, sir.
Hi. Oh gosh, the internet is really bad, right? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you see my screen then?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay, thank you. We'll just try to push through, right? At least one, two articles, maybe. So yes, we have discussed. Please stop me if it's not like audible, all right? We have discussed like about the double weather. Mm, 1 second, 1 second. Hello, hello. Am I audible? My
Yes.
internet
Yes, sir.
is still there. Hello? Okay.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Turning your network into 4G. Yeah. Don't worry, from next class, I assure you that this problem is not going to and everything. This one, as we have discussed, it helps in early warnings for cyclones, thunderstorms, and heavy rainfall, right? And automatic weather stations, they are unmanned weather stations that continuously record weather patterns like temperature, humidity, wind speed, and pressure and all. And when you're talking about rain gauges, it simply measures the amount of rainfall in a particular area. Okay. And also utilizing computer systems. These are computer systems, the Pratyush and here for advanced. Yes, these are developed by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Okay, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Let me just write it. Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. All right. In Pune, under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Okay. And see, as I have mentioned you, this Mausam will also help the Indian Meteorological Department collaborate with our global organizations like the World Meteorological Organization and all. And they will provide advisories through apps. Mausam app is also there, SMS services and media channels. So this is the Mausam Mission Mausam that has been launched by the government. And this is a very important article, even though it is a small article that is given here. Okay. Now, talking about the next article, India will host the 28th Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of Parliaments and of Commonwealth Nations is like a political association only, okay? This is a political association, okay? And there are 56 member countries who were all mostly or all part of the British Empire, meaning they were colonies of the British only, like India, right? Like India and other many Southeast Asian countries and other countries in Africa as well. So the largest Commonwealth nation, according to population, India, and the smallest is Norway only. Okay, the headquarters of the Commonwealth nations is in UK, and we also know and have read years Commonwealth Games every 4 years it is held. Okay, so this is the Commonwealth nations, and this is also a very important conference, the CSPOC. Okay, okay. The CSPOC. This is known as the Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth. So, for example, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha takes part in this. Okay, so like that, there are different speakers in different parliaments and all. For example, yes, all of these will take part in it. And in the Canada, especially the House of Congress, the House of Commons, that is, all of these speakers will take part. So this was established in 1969 by Canada's speaker only, who was Lucien Lemoro. Okay. So first initiated to enhance cooperation and share best parliamentary practices. So there has to be coordination and cooperation between the different parliaments or different Lok Sabha, different House of Commons, like lower houses of the parliaments, right, in the Commonwealth nations only. Okay, and it operates independently, meaning it is not under any other entity or organization of the Commonwealth Secretariat or Parliamentary Association. Canada provides Secretariat for support for its services, and it is 2-year cycle. Full membership conference is held every 2 years. Okay, this CSPOC is held every 2 years. It's a biennial conference only. Okay. And the chairperson rotates based on the host country. So this CSPOC will host the 28th conference will be hosted by India in 2026, and India will be the chairperson only that time. So the aim, as we have discussed, is to foster impartiality and fairness in parliamentary leadership, because in a democracy, the parliament is everything, right? The parliament stands for the people. Democracy is for the people, by the people, and of the people, right? So parliament, the British Parliament, there is a saying in Britain called the British Parliament can do no wrong. The British Parliament can do everything except turn a man into a woman or a woman into a man. This is what is said, meaning the power of the Parliament is like supreme in a democracy only, and promote knowledge and understanding of parliamentary democracy in diverse forms. Parliamentary democracy in diverse forms, right? There are different types of parliamentary democracy. Some can be presidential form of democracy. Some can be parliamentary from like India, or the presidential like the US and all. So this is everything about the CSPOC. Okay. Now, looking at the next art. Am I audible? I'm audible fine, right, everyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Okay. The patience that you guys are showing is remarkable. So the next article is the Steel Authority of India. We have the INS Nilgiri, which is a vessel, VESSEL, a war vessel, or you can say defense vessel. And we have the Maharatna here, which we will be discussing. And this can also be taken as an example of Atma Nirbhar only, okay, in defense. Okay, so a very important topic of discussion when it comes to economy is the classification of the public sector enterprises, the central public sector enterprises especially. Okay, have I removed that? Okay, okay. Let me just make another graph, okay? Okay, center. Okay, central public sector enterprises. All right. The central public sector enterprises are divided into basically 3 categories. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Wait. Is that only? Okay. Basically, 1 second. The current has come now. I don't know whether I should shift the internet to the Wi-Fi or so. Okay, it is basically divided into Maharatna. Secondly, it is known as Navratna. And thirdly, it is known as Mini Ratna. So This classification is very much important. They get special privileges, the companies, and also they get special privileges in simple words. I want to make quickly and simply understand the Maharatna company, a public sector enterprise, to be known as a Maharatna. It has to satisfy three eligibility criteria. Okay, eligibility criteria. Okay, just remember this is very important. Okay, number one is they should have a net profit. Net profit meaning after deducting of taxes of 5,000 CR. Okay, and secondly, they should have a average annual turnover. All right, average annual turnover earnings of 25,000 CR, and they should also have average net worth, okay? Net worth of at least 15,000 crore, the assets that they own, right? So just remember this basically 5, 15, and 25. The profit will be 5,000 crores if the profit for a company or an enterprise, PSE, is 5,000 crore, and they also have an annual turnover of 25,000 crore and net worth of 15,000 crore, they can be known as a Maharatna. And what is the privilege? The privilege is financial autonomy. Financial autonomy means whether in when they are making investment decisions. Investment decisions for this PSC, meaning that if they want to acquire other companies, if you want to buy another company, or if they want to expand their company, okay, they can do so of 5,000 CR, okay? For an amount of 5,000 crores, they can expand. In the earlier, in the past, many companies in the country could not grow because there were multiple layers of approvals they needed to take in order for them to expand their business, or even internally or externally. And because of this, there was a lot of red tapeism. Red tapeism meaning that a lot of documents had to be pushed from one table to the other. Bureaucracy was very much delayed, and that's the reason why economic growth was not witnessed. But then financial autonomy to 5,000 crore for a company is very high. And examples like the Steel Authority of India Limited, like the BHEL, right? And we have the ONGC. All of these things are example which you can remember. Okay. Now Navratna. For Navratna, so for a company to be called a Maharatna or a Navratna, there are certain there are certain eligibility criteria. Okay. Hello. Okay. Be termed as all of these things. There are some parameters. Okay, like credit rating or so out of 100. There are 100. Voice is cracking.
Yes.
Wait, let me switch to my Wi-Fi then. Wait 1 second. 1 second. Hello?
Well,
Is it better
well,
now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. John, is it better? Or who was the one who mentioned it? Just give me some time today extra. All right. Their network. Oh, I'm so sorry. How is it now? How is the network now?
Yes, better.
Better. Okay. Great. So out of 100 criterias or parameters, okay. For the Maharatnas, they come within 99 or 100 also. But for the Navratna, if they satisfy 60 out of 100 parameters, all right, it is relating to financial and operational parameters. Just say 60 out of 100 financial and operational parameters. Operational parameters, they become a Navratna. Okay. And I will explain the Mini Ratna only. In Mini Ratna, there are two types. Okay. Mini Ratna 1 and Mini Ratna 2. Okay. So if a Mini Ratna company, all right, if a Mini Ratna 1 company is performing consistently for 3 years, basically it is say 3 years. Okay. If a Mini Ratna 1 company is excellent, right, there is a good rating of 3 to 5 years, they become a Navratna company. Okay. Just remember that. 3 to 5 years, they become a Navratna company. Okay. And what is the financial autonomy that this Navratna get? The financial autonomy or the privilege that they get is they can invest up to a limit of 1,000 CR without government approval. Okay. Without government approval. Okay. Without government approval. And examples are like the HAL. I'm just going to write the short form BEL. Or the PFC and all, HAL meaning the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited, or the Power Finance Corporation. All of these are Navratna companies, okay? And for Mini Ratna Category 1, for a PSE to be a Mini Ratna, PSE, Public Sector Enterprise, to be a Mini Ratna Category 1, the profit, it should be that it has to be a profit-making PSE for 3 years with a pre-tax profit of 30 crore, 30 CR gross profit. Gross profit. If that PSE is earning a gross profit of 30 CR, gross profit meaning of without deducting taxes. Okay, if they're 30 CR, they are earning consistently for 3 years. Okay, they can be termed as a Mini Ratna 1. And financial autonomy for them is how much? For 500 CR, where they can invest without government approval. And for these examples are the AAI, the Airport Authority of India, and the Railtel Corporation. All of these things are example. Okay, and for the Mini Ratna 2, and it is said that they should also be making a profit of for 3 years, but with a lower threshold than Mini Ratna 1, meaning that they can be earning profit, gross profit of 10 to 20 CRs. If they are earning 10 to 20 CRs consistently for 3 years, they will be termed as a Mini Ratna 1, where they can invest up to a financial autonomy up to a limit of 300 crores or 50% of their net worth. Okay. Of their net worth. Okay. Examples like the Engineering Projects India Limited, the National Film Development Corporation, all of these things are example. So from there, just simply understand this is the criteria for a PSE to be considered a Maharatna, Navratna, or Mini Ratna. Okay, so when you're talking about the Maharatna, financial autonomy is very important. Just remember these 3 numbers, 5,000, 15,000, and 25,000. And financial autonomy, they will be getting 5,000. For example, the Steel Authority of India Limited, the ONGC, the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, the PHEL, the Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, all of these things. And for Navratna, 60 out of 100 financial and operational parameters should be satisfied, and financial autonomy of 1,000 crore they get. And for Mini Ratna 1, Mini Ratna 2, 500 and 300. Please remember this. It will help you in understanding so many articles later on in the future. So now, the news article, coming to the news article, it says that the Steel Authority of SAIL, which is a Maharana and largest public sector steelmaker in India, has supplied entire 4,000 tons of special steel for INS Nilgiri. For this vessel, the INS Nilgiri, in the entire steel of 4,000 tons have been provided by SAIL, which makes us dependent on ourselves and reliant on ourselves only. Okay. And when we come to questions like this is a previous year question only. Which one of the following is the best description of INS Astra Dharini, which that was recently in the news? Your current affairs questions might come like this. And if you are just studying one-liners, or I don't know, you can remember also for this one. So the answer here was torpedo launch and recovery vessel. Okay. This is the answer only for this INS Astradharini. And for that, I believe that these 3 vessels are important. Okay. These 3 vessels are important. And for this just remember this. The INS Nilgiri is a stealth frigate, which means that it cannot be non-detectable in enemy radars, right? ENEMY, enemy radars. And it is under the Project 17A. Let's not go in detail about what Project 17A. Just remember that it is under Project 17A. Let's take 10 or 15 minutes extra na, today. Not 10, maybe till 5:15 we will take, right? And it is designed for multi-role warfare with advanced stealth features. So just remember that this is under Project 17A. It was launched in the year 2019 and built by this company. Please remember this as well. The Mazakon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, Mumbai. Because all the three INS Surat, INS Nilgiri, INS Vakshir has been built by the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited only. So INS Surat is a guided missile destroyer under Project 15P. Project 17A is Nilgiri. Project 15B is Surat. Okay. Built for surface warfare, air defense, and anti-submarine operations. Launched in the year 2022. INS Vakshir is launched in the year 2023. Surat is launched in the year 22, and Nilgiri is launched in the year 2019. And these three are built by this only. And when you're talking about INS Vakshir, please remember it is a Scorpion class or Calvary class. Okay, used for underwater combat and intelligence gathering, meaning that this is a submarine only. INS Vakshir is a submarine under warfare, right? And these two are surface warfares. Okay. Yes, please remember that only. That is all that is important. And for example, and the next article, Amit Yadav, Secretary of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India, has launched Divine Grant and Digital Pavilion of the Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment at the Mahakumbh. When the Mahakumbh was going on in Prayagraj, this Ministry of Social Justice has launched this pavilion. Pavilion meaning that it is like an exhibition where you showcase something, right? For example, if you're having a sports week in the college, or if there is a literary or cultural event, your Department of Sociology, Department of Geography, or anything, you have a stall and you have some exhibition in it, like you exhibit something related to your own department or something. So in the same way, the Department of Social Justice and Empowerment has held this pavilion, okay? And through this pavilion, some of the schemes were featured. When you're talking about social justice, it means that in the society there are some marginalized groups, or there are some disadvantaged groups in the society who needs help, or who needs different certain schemes for their upbringing or for their benefits, right? So this ministry has set up this pavilion, or like an exhibition, in order to showcase their schemes only, for educating the people that these are the schemes for you all. You can take avail of this, or even also to highlight and showcase. Simply as that. Several pivotal schemes are being showcased at the pavilion, including these are the schemes. The Viswas, you can just remember it as Viswas. It is a very difficult pronunciation only here. The PM Daksh Yoshna, I will tell you what it is. And the Senior Citizen Welfare Scheme, the Nasha Mukt Bharat, and the Namaste Scheme. The Viswas scheme is to provide financial assistance to marginalized communities. Okay, financial assistance to marginalized communities, the Viswas scheme. BM Taksh Yoshna is for skill development for the socio-economically disadvantaged, like the EWS group and all. For these people, the PM Daksh Yoshna is there, which is under the Social Welfare and Empowerment Ministry only, right? And additional schemes for senior citizens welfare scheme, the Nasha Mukt Bharat, which is to fight anti-drug campaign. This is like an anti-drug campaign only, right? CAMPAIGN, anti-drug campaign. And the Namaste. All right, Namaste stands for National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. For the sanitation workers, the garbage collectors, the rec pickers and all, who are also employed by the municipal corporations or municipal bodies, this is for them only. Welfare and rehabilitation of sanitary workers. And also manual scavenging is something which has been banned by the Supreme Court, where people where the sanitary workers, they will manually go inside sewage dams and everything in and clean it, right? These are very inhuman activities or practices which has been banned by the Supreme Court. And related to these only, the sanitary workers are living sub-bar or their substandard livelihoods, right? Living standards, because on the Namaste scheme looks into empowering these people only and also to bring social justice for them. Okay. Okay, I believe that is all that we discussed. Maybe the rest of the articles we will discuss tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow, as in Monday. Tomorrow we will be taking a break. All right. Hello. Is anybody there? Okay, at least some of you are here till the end. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm audible, right? I was audible, right?
Sir, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for bearing with me today. I assure you that from Monday it will be much better, hopefully. Okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So have a good evening. Have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you next week. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss. Miss. Yes. Thank you. All right. See you. Good night.
Good night.